Welcome to Everything with Everett. This is a talk show podcast hosted by Everett McConnaughey from Boise, Idaho. The purpose of this production is to share thoughts, voices, and information to further a discussion on who we are as individuals, communities, and a global society. Everything with Everett is open to all topics of discussion: faith, science, history, finances, social issues, and, well, everything. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe. Visit everettpodcast.com for all the details.
A eulogy by Everett McConnaughey, written December 11th, 2021. We are gathered at this time and place to celebrate the life and legacy of Lawrence Edward Grensing Jr., who helped us laugh and inspired us to be a better person from 1955 through 2021. Larry was not my biological father. He entered my life when I was 6 and in kindergarten. I called my stepdad Larry most of my life because my father tried for years to tarnish and destroy our connection. I share this bit of information because who would put up with a toxic ex and fight for what is right? Larry Grensing, my step-up dad. You heard that right. A dad is someone who steps up to lead with love and selflessness. A dad is not based on DNA. A dad can be anyone, anywhere, at any point in anyone's life. Did you learn how to use a power tool? Did you learn to honor your word and keep your promises? Did you learn what was not worth your time and energy? Were you ever encouraged to be the better person in a situation and not respond on instinct? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are one of the few who are graced with a real dad in this world of many fathers. Dad treated me like an equal. I don't know why, but the first time I met him, I pinched his side. Dad said it hurt, and he pinched me back. Apparently, I took it like a man, and I didn't cry. We learned things together and from each other. The hardest part in his passing is knowing that there will be no more new memories. Done are the days of time at his well-organized workbench working on a project together. Gone are the recommendations on how to clear water from my headlight, tighten the chain on the garage door opener of my landlord's house, or power washing things around the yard. I will forever cherish all of the moments and memories that we shared together. I'm so happy that my mom went to that singles dance in 1994, and that he was captivated by the lady in red. He treated my mom right. He treated us all right. The good ones go too soon. That rings truest here today. I will forever love and miss you, Larry Grensing, the best dad I didn't know few have. You are my role model for being a dad. You are the reflection that I dream of sharing with my own children someday. Your soul is part of my soul's DNA. Increasingly, Dad taught me to ask, is this worth my energy? And I challenge you to do the same in the year to come. I love you, Dad. Thank you. Larry Grensing Life Sketch, written by Neva McConnaughey. On May 11th, 1955, a great man was born into this world. Named after his father, Lawrence Edward Grensing Jr., would come to prefer the name Larry to Lawrence, and be known to friends, family, co-workers, neighbors, and even acquaintances as one of the nicest people around. His parents, Larry Sr. and Miriam, instilled in him an interest in travel and the outdoors as they traveled from state to state, buying and managing motels. Their work took them from Las Vegas, where Larry was born, to Missouri, Wisconsin, and parts in between. He spoke of his childhood with memories of work and play, as well as adventure. Ever the outdoorsman, Larry told the story once of playing with his childhood friend until it was dark out. Determined to rough it and survive, they ate grass out of army helmets with ketchup for dinner. It is an isolated memory, but one that so aptly resembles the many eventful, you had to be there moments and stories that we all carry from our time with him. Larry was the youngest of 5 children, brother to Gary, Sharon, Sandy, and Gail. Larry was close to his sister Sandy, such that while he was young enough to need looking after, he loved to go with her and Sharon on hangouts with the boys. He occasionally called her mom, which was a bit of an embarrassment for a young lady in those days. When he reached his last year of school, Larry wanted to return to Las Vegas to finish out the year, and he lived with Sandy during that time. He was an eager participant in the family business, running motels, from an early age, but his real passion as a teenager was scuba diving. After returning to Vegas to finish high school, it was his job to dive down to the bottom of hotel pools and change the light bulbs. He was a certified scuba diving instructor and looked back on that time in his life with such fondness. One of his prized possessions was a large and beautiful conch shell that he dove and found somewhere in the Caribbean as a teen. Though his diving career ended there in Las Vegas, Larry never lost his enthusiasm for finding treasure. After graduating from Western High School in 1974, Larry took a job working night audit in a hotel in Las Vegas. At the time, he was the youngest person to have worked that position. Within a year of graduating, Larry married his high school sweetheart, Paige. The same year they got married, Larry and Paige relocated to Meridian, Idaho, where their daughter Selena was born in July 1980. Larry was a proud father, and even stayed home to care for Selena while she was a baby. After coming to Meridian, Larry employed various jobs and took on volunteer work in the area. A few roles noted by the family include his time working with the Idaho Commission for the Blind, and the time he spent as the van driver for the Cathedral of the Rockies Friendship Feast program. Only occasions to some, but to his family, this was the start of his philanthropy and love for his community. Both Larry and Paige were avid treasure hunters, joining metal detecting clubs and scouring the land for lost relics that still sit on display in Larry's home office. They divorced after 13 years together, but remained friends until the end of his days. Eventually, Larry's keen eye for a rare find led him to the love of his life, Joanne. They met at a church dance one autumn night and fell in love immediately. They were married only a few months after meeting on December 2nd, 1994. Both single parents, Larry and Joanne blended their family as lovingly as parents could. Larry became a dad to 2 more children that year, stepson Everett and stepdaughter Neva. While his family was growing, so was his career. He began working at West Coast Paper Company in 1992, where he drove a delivery truck and maintained a perfect driving record. He stayed with the company for 24 years until retiring at an early age due to advanced congestive heart failure. Larry kept metal detecting and displayed his treasures proudly throughout his home. He was always finding new hobbies, including his collection of Oreo memorabilia that many of us remember, and photography, which he became ever more passionate about as digital cameras evolved. From camping trips to sunrises, he snapped next to his yellow delivery truck. He got so excited about the moments of life he was able to capture and share with the people he loved. He was proud of his hobbies, but that could never compare to the elation he felt when he became a grandpa in 2004. His granddaughter, Haley, became his favorite subject. It would have brought him such joy to see her graduate, and that hope never left his thoughts. After he retired in 2016, Larry and Joanne moved to Garden Valley, where they had always talked about spending their retirement, close to their favorite camping spots and all the elk a photographer could hope for. Winter there was hard, but you could still catch Larry out shoveling his neighbor's driveway or using his tools and toys in the service of others. Their home there was alive with nature, and all manner of animals made their way across the yard. Larry never stopped capturing the animals that he encountered, and he was always able to find something to photograph. An old barn, an ice-covered tree, a hummingbird in flight. Larry and Joanne were beloved by their Garden Valley community, where the residents were close-knit and everyone helped each other out. In the time they lived there, they were among the original members that established and operated the Pay It Forward thrift store, a nonprofit effort Larry was so proud of. Their 2 years in Garden Valley weren't enough, but the demands of cancer treatment led them to move back down to Meridian, closer to their children and closer to medical care. True to fashion, Larry was quick to befriending all the neighbors on their new street, sharing cookies and chats across the backyard fence, and supporting the local kids mowing lawns. Wherever he went, the community always thrived. Larry fought cancer for 6 years, and now that his battle is over, his legacy persists in the small acts of kindness between neighbors and friends and all the people he touched. The summary of a person's life could never recount the greatness. If greatness were something a person could reach through 1,000 little jokes, endless hugs, and a million selfless gestures, then Larry would surely be considered one of the greats.
Thank you for listening to Everything with Everett. Connect with Everett and other listeners on Facebook and Twitter at Everett Podcast. Everett would love to hear from you. Share your thoughts by emailing mystory@everettpodcast.com. You can also leave a voicemail or send a text message to 208-391-2808. Choose to listen, speak with kindness, and have a great day.